Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. As I promised to you guys that I will be doing this updates time and again for the collective Divine Masculine in this twin flame connection that we are all following together, right? So, this energy that we are getting now is this energy for a week and a half from the 1st of February 2021. Okay. And I'll keep continuing to update these energies so that um, you guys are aware of what's going on and what you are looking at in the forthcoming days. Now, first thing first, ladies and gentlemen, the major arcana for the divine masculine in this reading is the Empress energy, which is a beautiful, beautiful, creative, nurturing, abundant, fertility energy or fertile energy, right? So, which is talking about this energy that he is inculcating, right? He is enhancing within himself. He's bringing back his abundance, his nourishment, his growth, his creativity, his fertility within himself, opening his mind, opening his body, his spirit um, to a different part of the story, to something that is beautiful, that he really wants within himself and within his surrounding as well, right? Which makes him happy, which makes him creative, which is bringing back a lot of love, fertility. It's the card of Venus, where there is a lot of love within himself at this point, which is again manifesting. Now, this is clarified by the spirit card, which says, clear yourself, which is talking about ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed, right? So, this is a very clear message, very, very clear message to the divine masculine in this collective twin flame journey is what he is getting or getting to know from his spirit world is that he needs to clear himself totally. Whatever the toxicity, whatever the negativity, whatever the bad stuff that he has absorbed. We all do, right? Like I said in one of the readings, I remember I said we all absorb the garbage, but it's up to us how much of the garbage we keep within ourselves and how much we let go. And that is the toxic clearance. You don't need to have medications to clear your toxicity. You can clear your toxicity through your spiritual growth and understanding. And that is how nature has made each one of us, whether we use that force, we don't use that force, it's up to us. Because a lot of us, when people go into depression, and I have observed that, when people go into depression, they want to quickly take in medications to, clear that depression, thinking that, oh, it's going to be very quick. If I pop in a pill or two every night before I go to bed. But what happens is that is very, very temporary, right? If you want a permanent solution to your depression, to your problems, to your toxicity, to your negativity, you have to rely on how nature has made us or enabled us to use that spiritual understanding to clear our own toxicity in our life. You don't need medications, guys. You really don't need. Like in the animal world, they have their own way of clearing themselves, right? They don't pop in the pill. So we as human beings, we have to understand that we do have that same strength in us too, because we are also animals, we are also species, a different set of species. So we forget that we have that within us to clear our own toxicity and negativity that we may have absorbed through many days, months, years, and that has been sitting within us. So, this is where the spirit world is telling him yes, you can bring back your abundance, your fertility, your growth, your nurturing self, your love, everything, everything within yourself, within your environment. but for which you have to first release and clear your own toxicity and negativity that you have accumulated. Like I said, you have accumulated over the time period within yourself, not knowingly. I'm not saying that he has done it knowingly, but unknowingly, a lot of negativity has set in within this man for a very long time. That is where things need to change completely. All right. Now, before we move forward, let me get into the bottom of the deck for the major arcana, which is this sun, where it is waiting for things to improve, waiting for things to improve. The sun, the moon, this is a twin flame connection right here, and the magician comes in here, which is talking about him manifesting a new journey into this connection. But he has to improve a lot of things in within himself to improve this connection. And he's manifesting that within himself with the Empress energy, clearly talking about him taking action on this issue for himself before he can tell you anything, guys. All right. The bottom of the angel oracle deck, guys, is a sacral chakra. It's talking about him knowing that he is highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed food, and energies right now. Okay, he'll have to, because see, again, this is a part of detoxification, right? It's a part of detoxifying himself. So they're telling him, respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships as well. So it's very, very important for him to clear himself, which he's doing, guys. Okay, and he's doing that in a very, very natural process. In a very natural way is what I'm getting, right? He's clearing himself totally to understand himself better in the situation in order to bring back the growth and fertility within himself. Now, I've got 3 cards in here I've called out for the energies in the 3D. The first is talking about 8 consciousness, happy success. This is talking about his wish fulfillment, right? It's talking about him knowing that it's time to bring back the great joy and abundance for himself in his life. Now, this joy and abundance could be in the form of him expanding his wealth, love, or even if he has a business achievement. Okay, but the promise here is that the wish he has been dreaming about for a long time is coming into his life. So he needs to open up to the success through his heart and to the happiness already that he has in his life and get ready for more that is coming in the way for him. Okay, and this is clarified by healing from the past. See, this is clarified by this card of healing from the past, which is again talking about clearing his toxicity, negativity, something that he had in himself from a long time from the past situations, relationships, past karmic cycle of life that he had been going through, whatever that situation has been. So he needs to heal completely from the past, which he's doing in order to make his wish and dreams come true, which is coming because as he is healing, guys, as he is cleaning, his dreams are coming true. He is getting back that the aura, that vibration that is coming back into his life that is telling him, yes, I'm ready for that success story. I'm ready to manifest my dreams now. I'm ready to expand myself. I'm ready to bring life into my own life, right? Make it more creative, make it more abundant, make it more fruitful for the time I have in this world. Now, this is clarified by the card of Anchor, which is talking about becoming stable once again, becoming very solid, becoming very secured with his willpower that he is taking advantage of. by standing alone. This is the Tower card, right? He's negating everything in his life. He's taking the right guidance. He's taking the right experience from people, from his learning situations, from his experiences to build back himself in the right way, guys. Okay? Which is talking about state of equilibrium when he's becoming very, very self-aware of being harmonious, radiant, and harvesting a new future in his own self. Okay, so very, very, so like I said, as his clearing has passed, as he's releasing his toxicity, as he's releasing his negativity, his energy is improving. His consciousness is becoming very clear because he's learned from his experience that what he now needs to do, guys, is completely revamp himself in the right way. Because one thing he has realized is what I'm getting, that for a very long time he hadn't paid attention to himself, right? What he had been thinking, we really have no clue, right? Deep inside what he had been thinking, but what he had been thinking is what I'm getting is that he had no hope. He was possibly not hoping for anything really fruitful, and that's why he was being pulled and sucked into the negativity of his own understanding. From where this change is manifesting in himself, guys, where he's realizing that no, it's time. It's about time that everything around me and within me needs to completely change, which is clarified by this card of energy that's talking about fragmented energy. See, this was the issue here, right? This fragmented energy is, it's like he was pushing against the current with the pieces of his life all over the place. He was not feeling stable. He was not feeling secured. There was a split in his energy level and in his attention. That's what I just said, that he was not paying attention because he was all over the place. Because, like I said, this happens to somebody is when they have too many personal tasks or work life that was taking over this man completely. Where he was in a hurry with his life and frantic, very, very frantic about getting things done. So, by doing that, he was in turn fragmenting his own energy, where they are telling him balance is very essential for him now to bring back the balance. And it's time for him to slow down, Reduce your have tos, right? What you have to do, reduce your have tos and give yourself a complete break. Because if you don't, your agitated energy will block the very achievements you're working so hard on. So they're telling him that if he wants all this to completely come in the right way, he has to slow down. Okay? Because he could, like I said, he could have been looking at too many options when he was considering his future projects, but it's good to have good ideas that take you in many different directions. But this indecision, if he continues in that mode, will split his energy, will slow him down, or will stop him completely. So now it's time for him to make specific choices the right way. He cannot be all over the place. Specific choices in the right way to set up a plan, to choose that path that calls upon his heart, and focus and not fragment his energetic power. It's very, very important because this time of this is the message, that the spirit world or his spirit guide is letting him know that he will have to concentrate, bring back his focus, feel that by vibration within himself, because if he wants, he's healing, he's detoxifying himself, he has to slow down as well and consider things in the right way, which is clarified by be true to you. See, that is what they are telling him. Be true to yourself. Don't be all over the place, from pillar to post or post to pillar, whatever this guy was doing, right? It's time to be true to yourself. It's time to look at yourself and see where you're standing with your energetic level, which is clarified by child and garden. So, what this child is talking about is beginning, is an innocent beginning, a brand new beginning, a new creativity, a very tender creativity clarified by the garden, which is talking about being social in the right way, mixing with the crowd in the right way, with a very tender approach, right? Being a part of the audience, being a part of a party life, being a part of any event, of a community, which is an outdoor. But for that, he has to be really focused to know that this is how he needs to work now. He needs to be true to himself. He needs to have that new beginning in his life, because this is the time the spirit world is telling him that whatever whatever you're setting out to do, which could be, with people around you, you have to have a new beginning, and for which you have to be true to yourself. Reduce your load, lighten your load of have tos, running from pillar to post, and be true to your own choices and decisions in life now. Okay, now the next card out here is True Love, which is also an energy card. We got two energy cards in here, guys. Now, the true love is talking about the source of his real connection, right? Which is talking about he having an admirer in his life, which could be you, Divine Feminine. But for him, this could be in the form of a romantic love, right? That he is looking at you. But overall, it's also telling him a very profound and important message, that the world is a reflection of how you view and take care of yourself. The higher your regard for yourself is, the greater your ability to manifest your deepest desires. So that, that's what I'm saying here, that the energy has to slow down from being fragmented all over the place to coming to a point of knowing and regarding himself, honoring his path. Where he might have earlier found it difficult to appreciate and acknowledge himself in the past. But this card indicates that he's now getting ready to do so. So, what they are telling him is open your heart to the unlimited value that you bring into this world with your love, desire, understanding. And know that your soul applauds you for your choice of genuine self-love. Because see, all energetic causes, they all start with this choice in life. Whatever you guys are doing, or whatever the divine masculine is doing at this point, is all starting from there, which is clarified with the relationship dynamic card, right? What are the choices he's making now? What is that he truly feels drawn to? The relationship that he is being drawn to. The relationship that he feels comfortable. What is the dynamic between both of you? Divine feminine, divine masculine. Where is he standing with this relationship dynamic with himself as well before he proceeds with you in this connection? So these are all the questions that is coming up within this time frame for this man in here. Now these two cards is clarified by magnifying glass. See, this is where he is doing a thorough, complete research on himself. He's getting more information. He's getting more clarity with regards to the details that he now needs to execute as he proceeds forward into this relationship that is clarified with Snowflake, where he is now kind of designing a perfect pattern an exquisite code, a very detailed kind of a pattern that he's working on with the eagle card that is talking about, that it's time to challenge his own status quo. Because there is new hope, there is new opportunity. He is getting a clear vision of his past, present, and future. Like I said, what he has done before, who is the person he had chosen before, and what that relationship dynamic has caused him to understand in his life, and what he is now proceeding towards as he is moving into his own self understanding of his own true love, of his own compassion, of his own forgiveness, of his own clearance of whatever the toxicity and the negativity and all the BS that had been sitting as a form of garbage in his life. Okay? So this is where he's studying the entire thing to challenge and change his own status quo in the right way, like I said, before he moves into the second relationship dynamic with you. So the first relationship dynamic is with himself. Right now. Okay? The bottom of this oracle deck, guys, is intention again, back and forth. See, back and forth, victim mentality, the consciousness, and discovery, the intention. So he knows that he had been sitting in this victim mentality where he hadn't been able to take a decision or a complete judgment call because he was not there. His consciousness was not permitting him, guys. Right? That's why he was going back and forth, and which is where the intention today is being clarified with this discovery where he knows that he has to really work hard in order to bring back more into his life and discover his own self-love and compassion within himself. It's going to take him a while. It's going to take him a minute, but he is on the road. He is on the road because remember, it's not magic that just happens overnight. It definitely is a process that he is going through at this moment. So we all understand that, right? We all understand this process because he knows that he has done a lot of mistakes, and because of this mistake, if he needs to challenge his own status quo and clear his past, he will have to discover his true identity of who truly he is and what truly he is looking for now in his life. Okay. The bottom of the butterfly oracle is a decision, get some rest, join in. So what they are telling him is before he jumps into this significant part of his journey, he will have to take some rest. He will have to put some effort in himself. He will have to put some meditative work in himself in order to take the right decision for himself before he joins in with you, Divine Feminine, into the next part of the journey here. Okay, so this is a very, very good part of the story that I'm getting at this point in time, guys, which is wonderful, which is beautiful, and which is absolutely not, for me, is not surprising. The bottom of the deck here, guys, is a child again, a subconscious high priestess energy, and the ring and the woman, which is you. Okay, so see, he's working with his intuition to close the last part of his chapter and begin a new journey, a fresh journey with you. That's what I said, that he's taking a bit of a time. That's because he's clearing himself. Don't forget, energetically, you have to be in the right place before you can do anything with somebody else in your life, is the message in here. So this is exactly what is happening to this man in here, where he is healing from his past situation by himself to bring back his stability and bring back his harmony and bring back his wish fulfillment into his consciousness in the right way, guys, in the right way. Okay, So very important for this man, because like I said, even the spirit guide is telling him to clear his own toxicity in order to bring back that abundance and fertility of the Empress energy into his life, in his environment, in his surrounding, wherever that he is looking into for his own um, for his own growth. Okay, for his own growth, guys. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Okay, so like I said, this man has been going through a lot of pain, a lot of negativity that he may have talked about, probably may not have talked about. What I'm getting is he hasn't completely opened up with you, Divine Feminine, to say what exactly he had been feeling in his heart space for a long time. That's why, like I said, he had, because the fragmented energy prevented him from understanding himself. That fragmented energy where he was too busy running around with a have to do list, with a to do list, you know what I mean? Where time, he was not giving himself enough time to understand how he can be spontaneous in his own society or in the place or with the people to work his energy in the right way. And that is where they are telling him now to change his entire situation within himself first. Very important for the Divine Masculine, guys. He has to learn to mix with people in a freer way, you know. He has to learn to communicate with people in a much more tender way. If he is associating with other people around his place, he has to learn to work himself or work his energy, which is his own truthful self. Let me put it like that. Where he is not rushing all over the place to please other people while forgetting what he truly wants for himself. Okay? Let's look at the energy of true love and relationship. See, this is where the relationship dynamic is resting with his own self-love, because now he's coming to the point of realizing, because he has looked into every detail, you know, he has been working through this precise pattern, a code for himself that he had created. And this is where the challenge and the clear vision of his past, present, and future is coming into the surface for him to understand that he has to be true to himself, love himself before he can move into this. Because, like, you know, if he comes again half-hearted, he will not be able to prove himself, Divine Feminine. As I've always said, true love for yourself is very important before you can share that love with somebody in your life or even with people around you. Or even with people around you, because that's where, if your fragmented energy is persisting in your life, you will not be able to even associate yourself with your group or friends, because you're feeling disturbed. You're feeling highly disturbed in yourself, and you're not being able to be yourself truly in order to associate with people around you. And that is where the self-compassion, he's getting to understand that any relationship dynamic, not just with you, Divine Feminine, but even with his own community, with his own friends, with audiences, with anything, he will have to talk, behave, understand things in a totally different direction, in a different way, in order for him to restart a very, very self-loving energy that will prove to people that indeed he is a different kind of a personality. You know, he's a different kind of a personality. See, because right now what I'm getting from the first three set of cards, guys, is the thinking woman is sitting right in the middle, which is you, divine feminine. And it is the Queen of Sword energy, right? And the Queen of Sword energy is typically very clever, astute, to a certain extent, I would say even shrewd. But this energy knows what they have to do with their own life, truly, right? How they have to balance their life with a dose of good balance and a realistic understanding. That's important. Cutting off those kind of people from their life who don't really serve them anymore. Calling a spade, being very truthful and honest with their own self logical understanding is that energy sitting right in the middle, guys. Okay, which is what your energy is, divine feminine, is what I'm getting. And this is where he's picking up his own story. He's picking up his own story from you, divine masculine. Divine feminine. To understand how he can heal his past, relieve himself from all the mental blocks he had been having in his life before, all the toxicity, and plan for the future with a good strategy in mind that he is learning from you. He is definitely learning and understanding the value. See, and this energy, again, let me put it like this, of the Queen of Swords, for him, it's an energy of a mix of good and bad. It's not that he likes everything that you are saying or doing, but at the end of the day, he knows what you're doing and saying is the right thing. Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, he may not agree with your logical understanding completely, but at the same time, at this point in time, he cannot deny it because he is looking at you and thinking in his own self that whatever he had been thinking that you have been doing wrong is proving out to be right. Like, your strategy in life has worked towards your own success. So he's trying to follow your footsteps from a very difficult place of envy, negativity, toxicity, very intuitive, energetic vibration that he had been sitting in, very low, dark thoughts, right? Very dark thoughts of envy, where he was being jealous about people in general, maybe, like I've always said. He was not able to open his heart and understand the truth about himself. So there was a lot of lack in himself, lot of dissatisfaction in himself. And this card is now telling him, envy card is now telling him to let go of that jealousy and acknowledge the blessing that he has, which he's learning from you as the thinking woman, because your mental approach to situation that I said earlier, he had not been understanding, he had not been getting. That how you could go forward, how you could do things right and he couldn't. Right? How you could strategize your life in the right way and he couldn't. Because, like I said, he was not following you. He was perhaps critical about your thinking, is also what I'm getting. He was perhaps, like I said, it was a mix of good and bad. But the bad part of the story that he was picking up on from you was that he was being critical of your logical perception in life. From where he is coming to the point of realizing that if he has to release and heal himself from the past and bring his wish fulfillment to the truth, or bring his truth into the wish fulfillment, he has to be very strategic and make a plan to consider the direction that he now wants to go into. When he now needs to structure the short term goals to make his long term goals a reality in life, which is what he's picking up from you guys. So, with this card of strategy, they are telling him to spend some time now in order to reset things and take full control of the situation. Where he now has to add his thoughts and put it into action, and he has to set his sights on the road ahead of him. And this is the energy that he is picking up from you as the Queen of Swords. Like I said, a dose of balanced harmony with a dose of realistic understanding, which is a mix of realistic understanding and a complete flexibility of your thinking ability. Okay, let's look at the envy card, because this is where the jealousy factor, like I said, had been completely, very intuitively inside of him, that he now is clearing with your help, Divine Feminine. You may not know about it. You really may not know about it, that what he is actually doing is picking up this energy from you, right? The King of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, see? Using his emotions for the right kind of reciprocity instead of being jealous and sticking on to negative and dark thoughts in his life. The bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. Yeah, this is where he wants to now balance his things with the right kind of emotional approach, being emotionally intelligent in order to know how much he has to give and take from this relationship, and what he can now give to you, and how he can now give to you in the most charitable way with regards to emotions, love, understanding, sentiment, everything that he had not been reciprocating because of this envy and jealousy that had been sitting within his dark thought mind or mindset. Okay, so this is where he's coming to. Let's look at the thinking woman here. And this is the energetic vibration that he's picking up from you, to clear his logical perceptions in the right way and follow your footsteps. He's actually following your logical footsteps, guys. He is actually following your logical footsteps, because he is coming to the point of his own understanding Like I said, he had been critical of your approach to life before. But now he's knowing, no, you are very wise. He has to admit that. Whether he says that in words or not is a different story. But he is admiring your wisdom, guys. Because see, again, with a thinking woman, you have learned your lesson in life. So your experience, Divine Feminine, is what he had not counted in before. Let me tell you that. Like I said, he was being critical. Whatever you said, he was having his own doubt. He was not relying on your kind of logical approach towards life in general. But today he's coming to the point of understanding that stuck energy, the Four of Pentacles, that the only way he can move from his own stuck energy where he had been a miser towards you, where he had not been reciprocating this sentiment or this feeling towards you, Divine Feminine, is what he is understanding with a very clear mind at this point because of his logical intuition that he is following. See the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is a breakthrough he's getting, that this jealousy and envy that I said, had been very much present. The toxicity had been very much present within him, where he refused to show how much he really cared for you, how much of reciprocity he can show towards you. And you know that, Divine Feminine. You know that because your wisdom has told you that he had not been doing the right things with you. He had been hiding things from you. He had been pushing the wool over your eyes. He had been masking a lot of things. He had not been telling you the truth. If he had any problems, he was very, very um, stuck with regards to showing his love, affection, or compromising with you on any situation. Where now the strategy card is coming up at here. Okay, because the short term and the long term goals, now he's energizing or energetically focusing on both. Let me tell you that. The short term and the long term, because he knows he has to be focusing on the short term before he can move into the long term. Because if he tries to move directly into the long term, he will not be able to move. So he has to be very, very careful with his work right now towards a lover's energy in the hanged man. Yeah, see, where he had earlier failed to take a decision on this relationship dynamic. He had failed. He was in two minds of whether he should move towards you or he shouldn't. And that is the enlightenment. That is where the transition is happening with the hanged man, where he has suspended himself to rework on this energetically to clear the entire story between the two of you. Let's look at the hanged man energy here. Yeah, see, because this is where that question was, oh, should I make a commitment or shouldn't I? Should I bring a closure or shouldn't I? Should I give her a ring or shouldn't I? You know, there was a lack of decision. This is where the strategy is now coming into focus. Both long-term and both short-term and long-term with the hanged man energy, where he is the dark night of the soul, and the sun energy, where he now knows that in order to go forward, heal the past with you as well, in order to bring back his own success and his own wish fulfillment, he will have to open his heart in this relationship and do the right reciprocity with you. Wow. From the Five of Pentacles, yeah. Change that situation of feeling miserable, poor, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, in every possible way. So that situation is changing, guys, or will be changing, because he is changing his own consciousness. And he's healing the past, not only within himself, but even with you. Or he is into that situation where he is now trying to bring back that stability, taking advantage of his own situation right now to bring back the harmony and becoming very self-aware of his own state of equilibrium. That he has to be very balanced. He has to be very balanced, okay? Let's look at the fragmented energy and be true to you, which is talking about the three cards in here, which is the cornucopia, which is again talking about his wish fulfillment, right? It's talking about bringing back things in the right way again for himself. Card number 11, which is all about wishes fulfilled. An abundant harvest, where great blessings are waiting to receive him, guys. And when you receive this card of cornucopia, you know that you have done an important work, or you're doing an important work. And whatever you're doing is about to pay you off. Okay? Because the seeds that you have planted in your energy level and in your life, you're ready to harvest it now. So this is what he's doing. He's ready to harvest his own wish fulfillment with you, Divine Feminine. But like I said, he's taking a minute to bring this cornucopia to you. Okay? Which is, again, the Magician and the Mirror. That's talking about manifesting his own energetic vibration in the right way. Being the Magician here, guys. being the magician out here, knowing and using his own true power to bring this wish fulfillment and desire. It's the culmination. It's the culmination. The magician energy is the culmination of his personal and spiritual power at this point, which is both doing at the same time. Okay? Because now he knows that the important time in his life is coming, guys, where he has to be the alchemist. He has to be the magician. Just like the alchemist turns any metal into gold, he is now able or will be able to transform difficulties into great blessings. And that is the energetic vibration that's coming from this be true to you, from all the fragmented energy in his life. Because this is true. This is true in every area of his life that's coming up, where now he is claiming back his power and embracing back his intentions in his heart and in his daily life. Okay? Where he's directing his destiny into a place of brilliant reality. Brilliant reality. Okay? So this is the change that is manifesting from all that fragmented energy, as I said, where he's now learning to be true to himself. With this next card, which is talking about door to personal healing and happiness, which is a new beginning in his personal life. Which could be inner healing for some, where somebody is breaking open or breaking away from an addiction. Some of you guys, divine masculine, could be looking to make external changes in your life, such as finding a new place to live in. And this card signals that your life is opening up and new opportunities are about to appear. Some of you guys, like I said, divine masculine, could be even looking for a new job, new career. Because the changes, all these changes that you have been working on, is the time it's going to blossom with wonderful result, so that you see yourself, your personal intentions, you will see that expanding with continued action and optimistic expectations in life. So this is where the entire change is happening, where he's learning to be true to himself, guys. True to himself, because this is where he's manifesting his change. Don't forget. With the cornucopia card and door to personal healing and happiness, from all that have to do list, he's completely focused on himself now. That much I can tell you. Completely. Take it from me, guys. Let's look at the card of cornucopia. Because he has realized that he has made terrible mistakes in his life. And this is not a new realization, but this realization has been predominantly setting within him for a long time. But now this realization is gaining momentum. Okay? Where he's just, it's time for him to take action, he knows, and that is where he's moving into. It's only a little bit of a delay that he's going through as he is lightening himself or lightening the load or moving away from difficult situations, from stressful areas, from all the burdens in his life that he had been carrying. Because he's getting ready to take action and communication. He's learning how to talk to you once again. What he should be telling you. What are the things that he needs to express to you now? Let's look at the magician and the mirror. This is where the alchemist is coming into effect, where he is now going to find solutions to all the problems in his life in order to move forward with you and to his own personal healing and happiness. So he is definitely slowing down from that fragmented energy. He's not going to be pursuing that, guys. No, 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 no. He's learning to be true to himself, because after all, finally today, he's coming to the point of realizing how terribly, look, the Three of Swords. Yeah, this is where the pain was. There was a lot of grief, sorrow, because he couldn't move, he couldn't manifest, he couldn't find solutions to his problems, right? With the Ten of Wand. Yeah, there was a lot of stress. Like I said, this is the time period this card wanted to come out. See, this is where, again, the Three of Swords and the Ten of Wand, this is where a lot of people had been pressurizing him to do a lot of things that he didn't want to do, right? And that was creating a lot of grief, a lot of sorrow, a lot of pain in his life, where even for him, the divine masculine, he was clearly not able to move, because he was paying more attention to other people and what they thought about him, how they what image they were creating of him was very important to him at one point in time, guys. Which is what is clearly leaving. He's clearly leaving that stress, that part of the story, what other people thought and spoke about him, which he had paid too much of attention to before, because now he knows he has to move himself in the right direction and, waiting to take action on the situation that, as a magician and the mirror, he wants to completely rectify the solution. I mean, rectify this problem and find the right solution for the story here. Let's look at the door to, because see, even he was blocked. Not only you guys were blocked. Even he couldn't move out. He couldn't associate with people. He couldn't really give himself the time in order to meet people, make friends, do something that he really wanted to, chase a hobby, anything, or move to a different area, move to a different place. He couldn't do anything because he was getting stuck in this Ten of Wand and Three of Sword energy. This is where he's finding solution to all these problems in here, guys. Let's look at the door to personal healing and happiness. Because like I said, for a long time, he hadn't paid attention to his own personal goal, to his own personal healing, happiness. He hadn't paid attention. He was going with the flow of letting other people dictate his life. You know what I mean? The Tower. Yeah, see? The Tower. This is an act of God that's coming up in here to clear his road. Where the difficulties that he had been waiting and sitting in will clear up automatically. The King of Wand, because he, the divine masculine, is becoming strong. He's becoming the leader. He's becoming an entrepreneur. He has seen the bigger picture in his life, guys. He knows what he now needs to do for himself. It's very closely associated with the Emperor energy of the King of Wand, right? Where there is a lot of passion, lot of passion, flame, fire, energetic vibrations, courage that's coming up within him to clear his own road. And Knight of Wand, where he is going to move very adventurously towards situations in his life that he really wants now to bring back in the right way. Towards himself first. Please remember, towards himself, where he now wants to be very, very true in his own understanding to what his own life is wanting from him now. Yeah. He's changing himself. He's becoming very daring. A little bit impatient, but very, very passionate energy with the Knight of Wand, guys. As well as what I'm getting is this Knight of Wand energy is something that he's taking a control of as the King of Wand. You know where he is? He is wanting to balance back his own self from just being a flirt kind of an energy or flirtatious kind of an energy to really stabilizing himself in the right way, becoming very powerful, bold, inspiring, and a powerful leader. Yeah, this is what I'm getting, guys. That Knight of Wand energy is a good energy, but Knight of Wand energy is also extremes of energy, you know, where somebody could be very positive or somebody could be very negative. No balance in the Knight of Wand energy. But with the King of Wand sitting right in the middle of the tower in the Knight of Wand, it's clearly telling me that he is balancing that story, where he now knows how to move in the right way. Okay? With not the extremes energy of being very positive sometimes, having mood swings, or being very negative sometimes. No. But being very stable and firm, a leader, bold, daring, energetic. You know what I mean? So there is a change to this entire story in here, guys, where he's learning about his own self mistake. That's an act of God where the old energy is collapsing and the new energy is surfacing, but he is also balancing these two energies in here together with the Knight of Wand and the King of Wand to know how to control his extreme energy that he is feeling within himself, to be true to himself, right? Knowing exactly how to put a barrier between his extreme end or two extreme sides of the energy level, right? That is where he is coming to. Now, with this true love energy and the relationship dynamics, we get card number 7, or the community card, which is again talking about people in his life, right? Community, connection with kindred spirits, where people with whom he is going to interact now and henceforth will be sharing the same ideas, being supportive one of one another. A very spirit community, right? A very spirit community, an association of that spiritual minded people. Okay, it could be a very casual connection of like minded people he could be getting into, could be joining a club, like I said over here, it talks about that. Joining a club or a community, business partnership. But this is the time. This is the time to make that new connection happen. Networking, community are an important part of human experience now for him, guys. And the security and sense of connection from this kind of a community could be beneficial to him, is what he now knows. You know, where the universe is also helping him by sending him the right connections and the right people into his life. The next card is a contract card, which is talking about partnership or legal commitment. You know, where there is a possibility, like I said, he is challenging his own status quo here. He's learning something from this group of people, where he's getting ready to sign a contract, indicating a committed connection of some sort with somebody here. Could be a business deal, could be a sale of a home, could be a new job, or even a commitment with you, Divine Feminine. But this is not a casual agreement. This is a very, very stable agreement. It's usually something that requires a document that's going to bind the entire thing together. Okay, and this is talking about a legal action that's coming in the way, which is going to turn out in his favor. So there are people, is what I'm getting, guys. There are people around him who is helping him with this kind of a situation. Because this card shines a light on new potential, new opportunities of what's coming in his way, guys. Okay, so there are people, there are good people around him, which is being sent to him by the universe. And that's where he's making, like, see, that's where he's making a new beginning, where he's becoming more true to himself with this kind of an audience, public venues, social gatherings, crowds, event, community kind of a situation here, guys, that is building up. And these are the people, these are the like minded people who is supporting his dreams, supporting his ideas into increasing his wealth and value with blossoming abundance. Where the universe is blessing him and helping him to reap back the fruits of his labor. There is going to be a new increase in wealth, very dramatic way and an unexpected way that's coming into his life, where he's challenging his own status quo into understanding with this like-minded people of how he can move forward to this kind of an abundance. But he's getting a lot of help because he's learning to be very forgiving within himself as he's moving out from whatever situation had been holding him back, to clear himself of all the toxicity and negativity and reassociate himself with people with whom he can actually talk, get help, and they in turn can give him the right help and understanding to increase his own health and wealth in the right possible way, people. Wow. Let's look at the community card. There is a lot of association. Like I said, this could be a very casual one for him at this moment, but these are the people being sent to him by the universal forces. People who think like him, people who understand him, people who can give him the right guidance that he is longing to get in the right way in order to clear himself too and understand his own relationship dynamic that failed before and why it failed here with you. 10 of Swords and the Fool. Yeah. See, this is the people who are letting him out of that 10 of Swords energy into clearly restarting something very new in his life. Taking that leap of faith, letting the baggage go, making his dreams come true, giving him that support, giving him that kind of push, from energetically allowing him to move forward and start himself from the scratch, from ground zero, guys. Justice, look. Karma. Karma has been served here with people that he is now interacting with. Because he's definitely moving, and these are the people who are helping him, whoever it is. Could be people or just person, doesn't matter. But it's definitely more than one person here who is helping him to move towards a different contract for himself in his life. The justice needs to be served here. Yeah, the Moon card, see? Clearing away the illusions from his mind to allow justice to work from him. The Page of Wands. Yeah. Expanding himself. They're allowing him. See, because with the Moon card, guys, he had been sitting in a lot of doubt about the situation as I explained before, right? The toxicity has to be cleared. Has to be cleared because the Moon card is the place that the problem was. Lot of fear about this contract or the deal or the negotiation that he is about to do. He had a lot of fear because there was a lot of self-deceit as well with this kind of an illusion that he was not, the self-deceit was the tricks that the Moon card was playing. Feeling confused, unrealistic dreams, right? Worried, apprehensive. Losing touch with reality was the Moon card's story here with regards to the self-deceit, because that's where he was deceiving himself from moving forward into the right place that he wanted to go and increase himself in the right way with his health, wealth, and vitality. I'm going to clarify the moon card here to see what's going on. This is where the story, the problem was, guys. This is where a huge problem had been. Page of Wand, the Eight of Cups, yeah. See, he hadn't been able to expand himself before because he hadn't been able to let go of the old energy and clear his toxicity, clear his negativity. He was not able to take that risk before because he was caught in that situation of self-deceit and illusion in himself with regards to his self-compassion and self-love. That's why he did not have the right relationship dynamic with you guys, right? This is where he is expanding himself now and clearing away his old toxicity, leaving the past behind that no longer serves him anymore in order to move forward. And he is now a risk taker that is enabling him to move forward into the next part of his life here. The Three of Wands. Yeah, he's lifting his own restrictions in life, guys. He is allowing the future to unfold in front of him. Let's look at the blossoming abundance here. All this fear, self-deceit, trickery, illusions, unrealistic dreams is all that he's leaving behind. Let's look at the blossoming abundance here. The Devil and the Seven of Swords. Look, this was his own self-deceit, guys, his own restriction that was preventing him from moving forward into this Two of Cups energy. That was preventing him from moving forward, guys, where he's now learning to be very, very truthful and honest about his own self, because he had been deceiving himself. He knows that. He had been deceiving himself from bringing back that blossoming abundance, changing his own energy, being true to himself with his own relationship dynamic that he had forgotten because he was trapped into his own self-deceit, betrayal, lies, his own restrictions, addictions, whatever that he had been pursuing, which was preventing him from moving forward and creating his own abundance in his own life, guys. The Wheel and the Two of Cups. Things are turning. Things are turning from that very fragmented energy, guys, of the Two of Pentacles. This is a fragmented energy, and the Hermit, which is clearly talking about him restabilizing his own life, his own sentiment, and his own emotions once again in here, guys. Okay, so enjoy this reading. At the bottom of this deck is a Deceit, Storm Warning, sorry. And the Sixth Chakra and the World. Yeah, and the Yin and Yang. Yeah, there is a cyclical circle that's closing, guys, and a new cycle that's beginning for him. And he can clearly see that happening. With this third chakra, there is total personal clarity and understanding in his life with regards to his own future from this area of deceit, storm, bad energies, dark thoughts, and the thinking man. This is the King of Sword energy. This is where he's picking it up. He is getting back his own logical perceptions, expanding his own logical perception in life to make his dreams now come true. Okay, so enjoy this reading, ladies and gentlemen. Until we meet again, till then, goodbye, God bless, Khuda Hafiz, Namaste.